Hello friends, it's Tonton. In today's video, we're gonna do the Gen 8 guide. Many of you have been asking up to Gen 9, but I don't have Gen 9 yet, so I guess it's better to look at people that already got Gen 9. But for Gen 8, I got you covered. It's actually quite a simple gen in many ways, I think, but they're pretty good. So you have Gatot right here, so that dude. You have Sonia right here, so that girl. So that the two have done, and you have our friend Hendrik. I think if I recall properly, Hendrik, that is a Marksman hero, that was here. So the first one, Gatot, was Infantry, Sonia is Lancer, and then Hendrik is Marksman hero. So that's kind of where you are. So let me just swap very quickly to Discord. So if you look at Discord, Gen 8, Gatot, Infantry, Lucky Wheel, right? That's the stats, so it's a buff from 130% when they are max from the previous generation. On the max widgets, it's a buff of 33%, and in terms of widgets, so Gatot has a defensive widget. So overall, he's a very defensive hero. Edis was as well. That's the way it is with most of the infantry heroes, right? They tend to be very defensive. Rarely they are offensive, and that's what you get. You get defensive widget. Sonia is a Lancer hero, which has a lethality defensive widget, so that's make her very interesting. We've seen basically many people using Gen 8 in their rallies, in defense actually. But some people will do Gatot, Sonia, and then Bradley, because Bradley has a defender widget, when our friend Hendrik has an offensive marksman widget. So Hendrik is from the Hall of Heroes, so I'll show you in a sec, because I don't think I've made many videos where the Hall of Heroes was available. But the way you get the Hall of Heroes hero is you go here and you buy, either you buy with money, but else you buy with gem, and that's a 15k gems. You can buy up to 100 of these, and one shard is costing 10. So with 100 of these marks, you can buy 10 shards. By 10 shards, you can unlock the hero. That's the only time you need to spend money to unlock it, or gems to unlock it. Then on this hero, you can use SSR shards, right? So you can see for me, I just unlock it just to get it, because I like the skin to, put him here basically. So that's was about it. But I usually unlock that hero. I'll level it up later in Gen 8, so Gen 10 we will get shards in Intel mission. So that's how you get them, and then you can use your SSR shards, right? You can use this one. If I want him to max him out, I could. That will be 1085, 75 or 65. So you could max them out, but that's how you unlock them. So if we go back here, what you should likely do, then maybe before the choices and what I recommend, let's look at the other things, right? So that's where you get them, that's the widgets. So 2 defensive widget, 1 offensive widget with attack, good stats, that's how much you get for a max widget as well. And the 15, and that's for a max widget as well. Something so to consider, that's the rally joiner bear trap tier list that is updated, right? So you can see, if you look at the top, you have our friend Sonia. So Sonia, if you look at her, our first expedition skill, she is very close to Geronimo, to someone like Jesse and Jasser, for example. She's damage up. The other guys, they have 25%, she have 20%. So it's good enough, right? Sonia is good enough to be a great rally joiner, but you won't use her in a situation where you can use Jesse as well, or you can use Jasser, because if you compare Jesse, it's a 25% damage up, right? It's 25. Geronimo is 25 as well. So, on a rally with a hero that type, they will be better, but she does 20%. So that's really, really good. But if you look somewhere else, there are not many other heroes you can join as the joiner. Gatot, being very defensive, is terrible. You should not use him for bear. And our friend Hendrik is somewhere here. So, usually he is part of the only use one hero from that tier per rally. So that's one of the issues, because if you look at our friend Hendrik, he has the skill like that. So the skill is, so it's reducing the enemy armor, reducing all enemy troop defense by. And that's, I did not test it myself, but that's, when the call out from the image I just shown you on Discord, that's from the official Discord, and people are making extensive tests on these heroes. It means that it's not stacking well, right? When you can only have one, it means that it's not stacking well. So if you have one, it's actually good. but then you need to be careful with which rally you are joining and stuff. Otherwise, you will take the spot of someone that will massively increase the damage, when having 2 Hendrik is actually not increasing massively the damage of the rally. So you will, on bear, you will likely take damage off the rally if there are multiple Hendrik and they are the one that are sharing the skill. So usually you don't want to use him. The reality with Hendrik is like most people will skip him anyway, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue. So if you are one of the whales with him and you want to to use him, you can. If we look at arena for a sec, so that was the tier list made by Miyagi a while back. So I think it goes to Gen 8. So that's kind of the last time we can use that video guide he made. And you can see S tier. You can see our friend Hendrik. So, whales will really enjoy him. He's really good for arena. He's really good for rally joiner because it's an offensive marksman. So he's kind of updating the marksman in terms of offensive rallies. So whales love him. But beyond that, he's not really good. For most of us, of course, if you use him, you will enjoy him basically other free to play and stuff. But for bear, you still want to use Bradley in your own rally. It will likely Bradley do more damage because he just has better offensive skill. That's just the way it is. Even if Hendrik has an offensive widget, weirdly enough, but that's just how strong Bradley is. And nobody should have skipped Bradley's, so you should have him. What you see is like you have Sonia and Gatot that are very good. I went for Sonia myself because, it's a very good Lancer arena hero, and I did not do the previous one. That was this one, like Gordon, I think. And I did not have, I had Rene and Nora that are not as good for arena for a while, so my next one was Rene. Gen 9, I will get a Lancer hero from the Lucky Wheel, but that means I will get him maxed out at the end of Gen 9 when Sonia I maxed her the first event in Gen 8. So I will use Sonia for Gen 8 and Gen 9, and end of Gen 9 she will likely be replaced by the Gen 9 hero in arena, which I'm actually not sure. That's something I need to double check. So that's kind of where we are for the usage of the hero. So all of that is on my Discord. Credit is due to whoever is making that. So that's Miyagi, or the other one that just called on Discord that's updating that. And we add as well for the bear trap, it's King and Zili, that's from very, very old state. So, it's when you look at that, you kind of get an idea about new heroes. The only issue is like not all of these are up to date until the current generation, but some of these documents are. So that's really, really cool. So what Tonton is suggesting, right? You should go for Gatot. You should really go for Gatot. It's a lucky wheel. It's a very straightforward hero. It's gonna be good in your solo march. It's gonna, be good at the joiner eventually because it's increasing infantry defense. So you might want to have one if you use 60-40, for example. That's one of the options for rally joiner. Well, like we've seen, he's not amazing in arena. He's not a good bear rally joiner, but he's overall good for your solo march. And because I'm suggesting Edis, right, in Gen 7 for most people, you will have a very strong 2 or 3 marches, right? You will have Hector from Gen 5, you will have Scape Wooming Gen 6, you have Edis from Gen 7, and you have our friend Gatot from Gen 8. So your infantry is very, very strong in exploration, is very, very strong in arena. Then for me, I skipped Hendrik because I've been doing all the generation of marksmen so far, and I did not really need one. Bradley is doing the job for offense, and he will do the job for quite a while. He is very strong, even if he has a defensive widget, he still have lethality on the marksman here. That's why I level it up. And that starts to give you like a very strong defensive lineup as well. Because you have Bradley that is very good in offense and defense. You have Gatot that's very strong. So you have a very good arena, again, exploration, solo march. I went for Sonia because I wanted a bit of a boost. And that will be, if you consider everyone go Gatot, right? Sonia is, you want a better lancers because you might be like me, you might have only Rene and Nora and they're a bit old and they're not that great in arena. So you want a big buff in arena, in exploration, and you have the extra charge, which in my case I do. So you could go Sonia for that. She's really good in arena. She's okay in solo march as well. She's doing all okay. She's at the end of the day, she's a bit of a volatile hero because she has, damage up, attack up, so that's very offensive, and it's damage up, right? So it's actually very offensive, even if she has a defensive widget somehow. But it's a lethality widget. So for defense, people enjoy Sonia quite a bit. We've seen so far in Gen 8. And then the last one is Hendrik. I will do him. If you skip Bradley, but I don't think anybody will ever skip Bradley, so that will be very weird choice. Else, it's really like for me a rally leader hero, and that's why he's from the Hall of Heroes from that event. Usually that hero is the hardest to get because you have to spend gems to unlock him, and then you get no free shards during the generation, where for example Gatot you get the lucky wheel, and Sonia you get from SVS if you rank a bit. SVS battle day you can get 200 shards on the battle day if you rank. So I got a lot of these shards from pushing on the SVS, and I got a lot of shards from ranking in battle day every SVS. So that 3 battle day, you know, so that's up to 300 shards. It might be 150 you get, maybe 100, maybe 200, but that's, you know, 1 or 2 stars at the end you get for free for that, and you know, up to 300-400 if you push on one of the event and you rank 1 or 2. So that's, you know, half of the shards you get for free, and you have to do the other one. So that's why usually a good decision to push on the KOI SVS prep kind of heroes. And she's a, you know, my arena lineup is actually pretty solid. I do my matches before I go to bed, and I go to bed 3 hours before reset, and often I still finish in the top 100. So, you know, I used not to finish in the top 100 for quite a while before Gen 8. And so I have a nice buff, and I'll finish them up very soon. You know, they still have low widgets and everything, so I'll finish them up very soon. So that's kind of the suggestion. Gatot for everyone. Sonia, if you want a good Lancer for Arena, and you know, solo march, she's good as well. She's quite offensive, even if she has a defensive widget. And Hendrik, if you're a big rally leader, or for some reason you want to be on top of the mountain, you know, in Gen 8 for Arena, it will be very good because you will have Bradley and you might have Gwen or Wayne. Gwen is here, Wayne is here, and you know, in Gen 8, of course, they are falling a bit behind. Even if they are good, they are falling behind a bit. So if you will replace one of these by Hendrik, and there will be, you know, similar widgets, similar shards, your arena will be so much stronger. But I don't think that's the smartest choice. I'll go for another Lancers right now. If you go for an extra hero, then I will stop going for Lancers for a while, and then I will go from extra Infantry and Marksman in the upcoming generation, but we will talk about all of these later. As well, she allows you to get an extra joiner for Bear, so that you start to have, you know, for Bear at that stage, you have Jessie, Jesser, Siyun, you have her, you have Sonia, so that's really good. If some of you get Reyna, that could be really good as well, because Reyna, you won't use her, you know, so you can use Reyna if you have a 4-star. So out of your 5-6 march, even at the free-to-play low spender, you can start to get 4 or 5 of these marches with a good rally joiner. When you will be a bit later, Gen 10, you will replace Bradley with Blanchett from the Lucky Wheel in Gen 10, and you will have Bradley as the joiner, which, you know, increasing damage up, attack up as well, so that's really good, so that you will start to have 5 or 6 for nearly everybody. And then, you know, if you went through Gen 10, that means you went through Gen 9, and you might get Magnus, and you will have a complete roster to join rallies for Bear with heroes on every march, so you will boost every rally that you are joining if your heroes is sharing the skill, which is, I think, overall really good. So that's it for today. That's what you can do with Gen 8. You know, they are actually do not use Sonia for rally joining on offense. You can use one Gatot on defense, and Hendrik, you can use enemy taken down, so that, you know, will be I think if you compare, you know, these are the same, right? Damage taken down, so is it exactly the same? Or enemy defense down, sorry. So it's not exactly the same, so that's something you can use as well if you have only one of them, but luckily your rally joiner is gonna use it, so you don't need to, you know, you don't need to use him. But if your rally joiner is using Bradley, you might want to have one Hendrik. That could be one of the options as well to test out for. Thank you very much for watching. Consider joining the Discord, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.